I think we're all set up. I've got a very special guest joining us here today for
Clarkman.
Missing Pieces. For those listening, we have a quick timeout here because Clarky's got some stuff in the corner of his mouth. But that's okay. We're keeping this real, keeping it raw. First of all, do you know what Missing Pieces is, Clarkman?
It is when pieces are missing.
Do you know what the Missing Pieces podcast is?
No.
Missing Pieces podcast is where I sit down once a week and I talk about whatever happened in my life, whether it's in Lego or outside of Lego. And sometimes I talk about you.
Yes.
What do you think I say about you when I talk about you?
You say, Clark, you're adorable.
I would probably say that. I think a lot of people would say that about you because you are. But
Yeah.
that's beside the point. This special edition episode, if you're wondering why Clarkman's here, and this is usually a solo thing, it's because I didn't get a chance to record this on Sunday like I typically do. Usually what I do is I come down here Sunday morning. It's like my thing. I used to do a thing called Good Morning World where I came down and talked about whatever. And now I do this, and it's like something I really look forward to. Unfortunately, this weekend...
My favorite part of Lego is Sig Fix.
Okay.
Like the ones on your wall right there are so cute. Cool.
This is pretty much what this episode's going to be, but I thought it'd be fun to have Clark here because I want to bounce some things off of him. This weekend, unfortunately, I couldn't record the episode because Mrs Brickitect was having some problems.
Yes.
What happened to Mrs Brickitect?
I don't know.
Mrs Brickitect got really sick over the weekend. Can you guys even see Clark? If you're listening to this, don't mind all of this that's happening. This might actually be a better one to watch than to listen to. Mrs Brickitect got wildly sick Saturday night. And we think that it was from food poisoning. We went out for dinner. Actually, like before that, we were at Lowe's getting stuff for the new house. If you guys didn't know, we're moving. Every time that I talk about it, hold on, bub. Every time that I talk about us moving, someone's like, "What? You're moving?" I've made like 3 or 4 different videos where we've talked about it, including a studio tour, which if you haven't seen, I'll try to link that video. But we were at Lowe's. Everything was good. We decided to go out for dinner. It was getting late. We got dinner. Everything was good. Clark got a sub. I got a sub. Mrs Brickitect got chicken parm. And that may be where the problem came from because later that night when she went to bed, things were not good. She was up pretty much the whole night, just super sick. So Sunday, she was in bed all day, which left me with little man, which now that I'm thinking about it, we could have just done this episode.
Yeah, like Dad and Pep were at the new house. Me and Nan were out watching a bunch of cartoons.
Yeah. We, that day, Sunday, I'm kind of starting this video, we're going to go back in time, actually, because this is, like, the most relevant thing.
Mrs. Brickitect, that's work.
She's back to work today. Yeah, she was actually off yesterday, too. Today's Tuesday, the 7th of January, if you're wondering. She was super sick all Saturday night into Sunday. She was in bed all day Sunday, so I was like, okay, I've got Clarkman. I'm going to try just to start packing stuff and getting things ready for the move, which I did all throughout the morning. And then Yami and Pap came over, and Yami hung out with Clark while me and Pap took a load of stuff over to the house because we're moving like the small stuff and then having the movers move the big stuff.
And my mommy came out.
Yeah, she finally came out in the afternoon. But me and Pap were at the house, moved all the stuff in. We were working on some electrical stuff there, trying to put we put a new ceiling fan in, trying to put a new switch in for that. And that was pretty much Sunday. So unfortunately, Missing Pieces didn't happen. And that kind of bums me out because I want to be consistent with this. And the thing is, like, I was thinking, okay, I'll just skip a week. It's not a huge deal if that happens. Like, people aren't going to be too worried about me. It's just things happen. But
now it's the Brickitect train Lego.
Very cool. This was a week, though, that I really want to have record of because these videos aren't just for you guys. This is for me. This is like my journal of my life. And I want to talk about this week because something really big happened this week with Clarkman. He went from being a 4-year-old Clarkman to...
5.
What's it like being 5, Mr. Man?
It's brilliant.
Have you noticed any difference between being 4 and 5? You notice anything different about yourself? You know this is a podcast, right?
No.
They're listening. Some people are just listening to this, so they can't hear you shake your head. So nothing's different.
Nothing.
This is the worst interview ever. How about this? What's the biggest thing? Okay, we're not going to touch those. Clark's going for the scissors. No. Even though you're 5. I think these are older than 5-year-olds.
Yeah, I tried to give those to you.
Okay. You were just giving them to me to keep you safe.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this. What are you most looking forward to being a 5-year-old? Oh my God. The first and last ever episode with Clarkman. You know, this is kind of going off another thing that I was planning to do was... I was going to do a series called Lunch with My Son where me and Clark have conversations, and I'm realizing that may not be...
And I'm starting to get hungry.
Are we going to have to end that podcast so you can get something to eat?
Yeah.
We should have did this while you were eating. It could have been breakfast with my son, missing pieces edition. I want to talk to you, though, about being 5 because it's a big deal. Do you realize that you are, at this moment, closer to being 10 years old than you are to being 0 years old? If you're listening to this, you're probably wondering, like, you just went over to your phone and you're like, why isn't this thing playing? Yeah, it's Clarkman being Clarkman, which is fine. This is what 5-year-olds are like, guys. If you want to see a 5-year-old IRL, this is it, especially when you have a little lens here and then your screen's over here and he can see himself. He starts to become quite the showman, which is fine. I'm going to continue talking about this week, though, other than Clarkman having a birthday, which is really awesome. And he got a lot of cool toys.
Yeah, I got Mighty Jet.
He got the Mighty Jet?
Yeah.
We're going to actually be playing with some toys today. Clarky wanted to do a video today on a certain thing that he got for Christmas that we've had set up, but we haven't played with much.
Yeah, it was the Crisscross Crash.
Yeah, I think it's called the Colossal Crash Track Set. It used to be called Crisscross Crash. And essentially, it's like a Hot Wheels thing that's like a figure 8. And all your cars go back and forth and you try to smash them up. Yeah,
and they're starting to crash. And we started to get the dino set from Hot Wheels City, and there the manual came with it. It showed all city parts from Hot Wheels City.
Yeah. How to get Clarkman to talk. Start talking about Hot Wheels. The only bad thing that I've realized now in wanting to make this video now is that yesterday I boxed up pretty much all of Clark's Hot Wheels stuff and took it up to the new house. So we only have a few Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah, they're with the monster truck.
We have a few Hot Wheels cars with the monster trucks. We've got a few that we got in the mail. So I'm hoping we have enough that we can actually run this thing and smash them together a little bit. So that's our big plan. Other than that, today, I plan to box up some things for the studio. The studio is actually going to be the last thing that moves because I'm getting new carpeting down there. You guys saw the tour.
Yeah, the blue carpet.
The blue carpeting's going.
Yeah, Casey loves blue.
Oh, yeah, that's his favorite color, isn't it?
Yeah, he would, if he was there, he would love it, that carpet.
I don't know if he would. I don't know if many people love the blue carpeting other than Yemi and Pat.
Yeah.
But the blue carpeting's going. I'm actually in the process of painting, which is what I did yesterday. You guys didn't see a Brickitect video yesterday. It's because I'm painting. I got like half of the first coat done on the room. I'm realizing just how much time it's going to take. I taped everything off, got it real nice. So I'm painting. We're going to be putting new carpeting in. I don't know what the time frame of that is. We're actually moving on January 17th into the house. So like that, everything upstairs is going to be in there. We're going to be living there. Whether the Brickitect studio is there or not is up in the air. We haven't listed this house for sale yet or anything like that. But when this house is listed, or when we take the photos for it, I'd like to have everything out of the studio just because I think it would feel bigger and feel more spacious instead of having my hoard everywhere. What's up?
I think I can see Yoda from here.
Oh, I think you can. Leota's going to have to get moved.
Yeah.
I'm going to try
the Hulkbuster, the giant mat.
The stuff that I've built. I'm going to try to get a whole bunch of wrapping or bubble wrap. I'm going to get a big roll of it from Lowe's. Be careful with moving the desk there, bud. And I'm going to wrap all my stuff. That way, even if they break or the pieces fall apart, I'm going to have it wrapped in almost like a cocoon or like a bubble. That way, when I unwrap it, everything's kind of in there. At least I'm hoping for that. Everything on the shelves over here, like all the boxes, are just going to get put into bigger boxes and move that way. And it should be a pretty smooth process, just a lengthy one.
The helicopter has to move.
Everything in this place, which is kind of scary, is going to have to move. And that kind of takes me to...
How about all your sig figs on the sig fig wall?
That's going to move too. I'm probably going to drive those up because I don't want them all falling off there because we spent a lot of time putting them up there.
Yeah, these come all from all kinds of people. That one's full right there. That one's not full yet.
It's getting there. We have maybe space for maybe 4 more sig figs.
And we got a couple zombies up there and a skeleton right there.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I'm hoping I have a place to put these things where we move to. But my big goal for the new house, I don't want to clutter the place up. I don't want to have the mess that I have now. I'm really going to use that storage space in the back, I think, really efficiently to store things. I don't think I even want to have all these boxes and stuff on display because I'm not enjoying them. It looks cool, like you have all these boxes back here, but they're like 4 boxes deep, and I can't even see what's behind there. So for me,
back.
Okay. Are you bailing?
No, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I have to head to Minecraft Safe for a little bit.
Okay, Clark's going to Minecraft City, which is fine. You guys can still enjoy him being back there. You might be able to see him a little bit there if you're watching this. You can also listen to this podcast. I always mention that in the beginning. Spotify and Apple Podcasts are the two places that people tend to listen to this podcast. And I'm always shocked to see how many people actually listen to it there, even though like I usually put it up like a day later. And I think I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to start putting up like the same day it goes on YouTube, hopefully. Last week I kind of forgot, and it was like a day later than that. But it's busy times, my friends. So this week looks like a lot of packing, a lot of painting, hopefully. I need someone to watch Clarkman. If you guys can see my hands, well, I guess most of the paint is gone. My hands were like white yesterday from the paint.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Alex. Thank you for joining the podcast. Yeah. We have another special guest.
I'm more...
Painting, packing, moving.
Clark, your shirt matches my hair.
Battlestar Galactica. We got a lot to do here, guys. I think I'm gonna today. After Colossal Crash set? I'm thinking I'm gonna come down here and start moving some boxes. Maybe we'll do like something live or something.
Oh, I could see some Minecraft up there. I could see the crafting table.
We have one Minecraft set left, and Clark is like desperate to get it down. It's the crafting box, which is like build whatever you want. We're gonna try to go on to not opening or getting into a lot of stuff, because everything that comes out of a box is gonna have to go back into a box. And that's where we're at right now. So, just a lot happening. We have improvements happening at the house.
My city.
I don't know.
We'll have to get wrapped up and stuff.
I think I'm going to try to just wrap it. I might just put it all in a box, and then when we get to the new house...
What's it going to break?
If it breaks, you can rebuild it. It'll be that much more fun.
But we won't bring the boxes.
I'm bringing the boxes. Every box is coming on the move. Which, again, that brings me to another point. My box hoard. You guys know that I save every box in the history of Brickitect. And I just don't know how long that's going to be sustainable for. Like those big boxes I have back there, I don't want those to sit like that in the new house. I don't want those in the studio. And I fear that putting them in the storage room, all they're going to do is just get dusty and just degrade over time. So I'm really thinking, I'm kind of between two things here. I don't break my boxes down because I like the security tape that's on them. That's like important to me. Are you mean mugging?
No, my tummy hurts.
Your tummy? Are you hungry? Or do you have to go dukert?
Quite hungry.
Okay, we're going to have some breakfast here. This is like the first thing we're doing for the day. The boxes. Can I just finish a couple more points here?
Yes.
And I'll go give you some... What do you want for breakfast?
I think I don't know what I want.
What were you thinking? Okay, we'll go up and look around. Worst thing you can ever do with a 5-year-old or 4-year-old or any year-old, give them options, or a wide open option like that. Like, what do you want for breakfast? I don't know. You got to be like, do you want waffles or cereal? It makes it much easier to come up with a decision on that. I don't want to do with my boxes. I think like going forward, these big boxes, I'm not going to be able to save. I'm either going to flatten them, which the reason I don't do that now is because like the security tape is on there, and I want to keep it like as intact as possible. I feel like opening one side, like if I ever want to sell it or have it as a collector's piece in the future, it's like it's still there. Once you break that box down, while you still have the cardboard, you have to find your own tape to retape it, and it's not like as authentic to me. So in my mind, breaking the box down is the equivalent of just throwing it away. And I don't know if I want to do that. I worry if I'm going to regret that someday. But if you think about just the fact that, say I buy 20 sets a year, which we all know that it's more than that. This year, that's 20 more sets I need to find a place for. Next year, that's 20 more sets I need to find a place for. Next year, it's 20 more sets I need to find a place for. And it's just not sustainable. Especially unless you have a warehouse. Maybe that's my next move. Maybe the Brickitect studio is going to have to be a warehouse someday, but I don't necessarily want to do that. And again, I'm not enjoying these things. I mean, it might be cool to look at a box wall. It might be cool to look at all these things on the shelf. But like I said in the studio tour, and I'll finish on this because I got a hungry kid here. What I really want to do is have shelves that display things that are very meaningful to me, things that I've built, maybe some sets I really love, but I really would like it to be either things that I've made, like mocks, which is a big thing that I want to do going forward on the channel, or things that people send us in the mail. Like I'd love to have just like a celebration of what this channel is. That's what your background should be. It should be a celebration. It shouldn't be, look at my hoard of things that I've collected over the last 4 years. It should be, look at this really cool thing that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Right? You know what else means a lot to me?
Clarky.
Clarky, that's right. And you know what means a lot to Clark? Having some breakfast.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap this one up. I know this is a short one, kind of just like...
Yeah, I want it to be short because my tummy gets a bit hungry.
Okay, this is a short episode, but I wanted to put it out there because this was a week and I want to have record of it. It's important to me have...
Ow!
Alex just died. Not made for kids. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us during this impromptu Missing Pieces episode.
Somebody has to say bye. Oh, guys, bye-bye.
Let me know what you guys think about having Clarkman in the episodes. I've had requests to have him on as a guest.
Bye.
I think we might be better off doing these solo. But yeah, there you go, guys. Thank you.
Dad, this is for you to put on your secret wall.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Alex is going to send you out. Thank you for joining us on a Missing Pieces. I'm telling you, this camera... Look at the non-focus there, Clarkman. Oh, it's trying to focus on our faces. Anyway, Alex says, thank you for joining us, and we'll find you in the next Missing Pieces podcast.
Yes, thanks, guys.